Hey everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. Full disclosure, if I sound out of my comfort zone, I am. But figure, why not? Maybe I could teach someone something. Maybe you guys can see how this actually works. This isn't something you usually watch. Maybe I can give a different viewpoint on some other creators, or there are some awesome creators on here. So here I am. Here we got a Mazda Miata. It's an NC. I'm using an adhesion promoter on the front bumper because on raw plastic front bumpers like this one, you don't get good mechanical adhesion. So the raw plastic adhesion promoter will actually allow a chemical adhesion, so paint doesn't peel, the customer doesn't come yell at your boss, and then in turn your boss doesn't come yell at you. Everyone's happy. This one's a real easy one. Straight black A3F, I believe is the paint code. So I figure easy one for my first YouTube video. I won't mess it up too bad. I'm sure someone on here will find something wrong with what I'm doing, but I don't really care. I'm doing it the right way. The way I know works. So with these Miatas, they're not very well liked for some reason. They're kind of the redheaded stepchild of Miatas. I've always liked them a lot. I think they're great cars. They share a chassis, I believe, with the RX-8, or they share a lot of parts of the RX-8 of the same year. So I know there's some parts on here that are definitely overbuilt for the 160 horsepower this car makes. So right here, you want to get a good ground coat to make sure you're getting coverage. Black usually covers really well anyway, but to make it even better, you use a dark gray. This is ECS 87 from PPG. You use a slow hardener EH392 and the ECR 65 reducer, which is the low temp reducer. So this is a sealer. I think overseas they call it wet on wet primer. You go right over this. You don't need to sand it. You hear my dog running by. And yeah, no, you want a good ground coat and you want to lay it down flat. This is what really sets the tone for your entire finish. If you get this all, orange peeling and uneven, the rest of your paint job is probably going to come out the same way. So you want to make sure you get this down nice and flat, or as flat as you can, before you mess everything else up. Just making sure I'm getting my edges here. Go over to the front bumper. By now, that adhesion promoter is definitely dry. It's a 1K. It takes all of a minute and a half to dry and be ready to go over it with your sealer. So start with your edges, and I section off the bumpers as I go. I know there are some psychopaths that walk around the bumper. I think you're all crazy. No way am I doing that. And after I'm done with this, it'll take 5-10 minutes. I'll be able to go over it with base coat. If you're new to this, you don't really know what I'm talking about. Base coat, that's just your color. Like I said, it's going to be straight black. Nothing crazy. And yeah, that's it right there. That's your sealer. I guess I missed a spot, but that's your sealer right there. I use the Techna primer gun with a 1.4. Works really well, lays it down really flat. For the adhesion promoter, I was using the DV1 clear gun. I have the DV1 clear gun. I know it's for clear coat. I don't like it all that much. I don't think it pushes enough material out. But we'll go over my clear gun later in the video. So as you can see, we're all ready to go now. It's been about 5-10 minutes. This is Mazda A3F, that's the paint code. It's just straight black. I got the DV1 with a 1.3 B plus air cap. I sprayed about 20 or 21 PSI. I'm actually using the PPG one visit modifier on this. A little bit newer of a product. PPG is generally a one coat at a time system. Now it's a wet on wet. So what that means is I put this first coat down wet, like I normally would. And before it's dry, I can go over it again with a second coat. That's your full coverage right there. You're done basing. Since this is straight black, there's no orientation code or anything. Sometimes with silvers, you get a little bit of mottle or blotchiness. You want to go back over it. With a light dusting, it's called a drop coat. Take care of it. Make it all look nice and uniform. But since it's a straight black, I don't have to do that. Makes it really easy. I can lay it down really as wet as I want. And yeah, no problems at all with modeling because there's nothing to model. It's just black. I know some people start in the middle of hoods, work their way back. I like to do a push-pull method. Start at the bottom of that fender, work my way up and around. I think it's smoother. Makes everything easier, flows nicer. Really easy. So right here is what I'm talking about. Base coat's still wet as can be. Can't touch it yet. Go right back over it with that one visit modifier. It definitely speeds things up. PPG used to, like I said, used to be just one coat at a time. Coming from a De Beer water system where you could do wet on wet. It's a Sherwin-Williams product for those wondering. Do everything wet on wet. It's a little different than this. It's naturally a wet on wet base coat. Whereas with PPG, you need to use an additive to make it a wet on wet. But it sprays really similar. Weirdly enough, this PPG's got a really weird smell to it when you use the one visit. I don't know how to describe it. It's just different. The regular water just kind of smells like dust to me. The PPG one visit smells like really chemically. But works the same way. Works great. Dries really fast. Much better than just doing one coat at a time. I mean, in my opinion, this only takes about 2 or 3 minutes longer to dry than just doing one coat. So you're saving a ton of time there. You're saving 2 or 3 minutes for each coat you'd have to put on. I think that's awesome. Making sure my blend's all good there. Yeah, good stuff. That's how it should look when you're all done. It's got a blue tinge to it. Once it dries, it goes black. It's just a water thing. I don't know what makes it do that, but it does have a little blue tinge to it when it's wet. But that helps you find out if it's dry or not, so that's pretty cool. There are a couple burn throughs. No big deal. It happens. But yeah, here we go. Same thing with the bumper. Wet on wet. Do your edges first. I don't always do my edges first. I know some people are really religious about it. Doesn't matter either way. As long as you're not running it or messing it up, you can do edges first, edges last, edges in the middle. Doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable with is what you should be doing. So, a little bit about myself. I've been painting 6 or 7 years now, I think. Started when I was 18 or 19 years old. Started off with Lesinol water. Gotta be honest, hated that stuff. Clears were okay, but colors were really not great. I know some people have great luck with it. I didn't. For the next 5 years, we had De Beer water. Excellent color matches. Excellent coverage. Really, really awesome stuff. Clear coat's not so great. Again, I know some people like their clear coats a lot. I could never get used to them. Just wasn't matching my spray style or whatever it happened to be. I know my booth didn't get quite hot enough. They didn't dry very fast. Overall, really just didn't like the clear coats at all. I tried the 8121, the 1204, and the 8414 Glamour. All kind of the same deal. Just not a huge fan. Nothing against De Beer. They had awesome tech. Ray was my guy. Really good people there, but I just couldn't get the clear coats to work with me at all. So we moved on to PPG. Been using it 3 or 4 months now. Really good stuff. Technology is way ahead of anyone else I've used. Makes it really, really, really easy for you. And yeah, I mean, so far, I think PPG's been my favorite. So when you're finishing off your blend, what you want to do here, come in, finish it up with some T490. We call it wet bed. Cleans up your blend edge. So sometimes when you're blending like this, it'll have some dry spray off of your blend. Makes it look like you have dirt in your paint. You don't. It's just dry spray standing up. What this does, it helps re-wet everything, makes it all flat and smooth. For when you go to clear, it'll help everything be perfect, lay out really flat and smooth, look really nice at the end, so that your detail guy, the guy buffing the car, doesn't hate you after. Best part of the job right here, clear coat time. This is a PPG DC 4000. Spraying it with my absolute favorite gun ever, the Iwata Supernova WS 400, 1.3 tip, spraying about 30 psi. And this is one of my go-to clear coats for all production work. Lays out really nice, easy. You don't have to think about it much while you're spraying it. Excellent gloss retention. Will outlast the vehicle in my opinion. So this is my go-to. Love using it. And while you're spraying this, you want to do 2 full wet coats. I know on some clears they do like a tack coat first, not this one. It's a medium solid, so you really want to get on as much as you can without solvent popping, running it, anything like that. So I would highly recommend this clear coat for anyone that's looking for a solid production clear that'll last a long time. Alright, here we go. End of the first coat there. Laid out great, heading into the second coat. I say usually give yourself enough time to mix up some more clear. As soon as I'm done mixing that second coat of clear, stir it, put it back in the gun, get back in the booth, put the second coat on. Since this is a quicker production clear, It does have a tendency on top panels to solvent pop if you wait too long, so I like to get right back into it. Since the first coat laid out so nice, there should be no issues at all. Putting on a full wet second coat and it laying out absolutely beautiful the way you want it. I like to leave a little bit of orange peel just to match the factory texture, since I'm not doing resto work, I'm doing crash cars production work. I don't want anyone to know this car's been painted, at least not make it obvious. So I like to leave a little bit of orange peel in it. Some people don't. I disagree. I think you should leave a little orange peel in it, because I don't need them going to trade this car in, or someone looking at it and going, wow, the nose has been painted on that, huh? I don't want that. I want it to look like a factory finish. And there we go, guys. That's the finished product. Thanks for watching to all 20 of you that are going to watch this video. Hopefully I'll make some more. I got some good content coming up. I got some more cars, so see you next time.